Today on the Spot, we get demos for Bust a Move Universe and the latest installment of Mass Effect 2 DLC, Arrival. Kurtis Seid gives you some tips and hints for Dissidia Duodecim Final Fantasy on the PSP, and we get updated this week on PC and Xbox Live. Today on the Spot.
Welcome, folks, to a live episode of Today on the Spot. I'm your host, Chris Waters, and we're not actually live. I was just trying that out.
Oh my God, you scared the hell out of me. I thought I was not prepared for a live show. I thought we were suddenly broadcast to millions.
Millions upon millions.
Don't do that to me, Chris.
No, I mean, aside from getting some chuckles by spooking you a little bit, I'm auditioning because the eyes have it, we are going live. This Today on the Spot is going to become a live show. It's going to evolve to the next stage, possibly gain a new water-based attack, but we're going to be broadcasting live. Your suggestions are fueling it. We got your suggestions in for segment ideas, and now we need your suggestions for the host, and like who you think might be a good host for the show. I'm gonna humbly submit myself.
You know, Chris, having often been the Ed McMahon to your Johnny Carson, the Paul Schaefer to your Letterman, if you will, I have to say it's been an honor and a privilege to sit here and watch you work.
Thank you.
And I can't think of anyone I'd rather see in the seat myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I got support from within the organization. Now I need support from all you at home. Comment, let them know who you want to host the show. Chris Waters is my name, just in case you didn't know. But before I go too far down that diva road, we have a show to do today. We've got demos, we've got giveaways, and of course, the news. Take it away with the latest headlines.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Thursday, March 24th. I'm Tor Thorson. In January, 2K Games and Gearbox Software did the unthinkable. The publisher-developer duo slapped a May 3rd release date on the elusive Duke Nukem Forever. Now that date appears to have been a bit ambitious. In a sarcastic video released today, Gearbox president Randy Pitchford announced that Duke Nukem Forever has been delayed. The game will now arrive internationally on June 10th, the day after the 2011 Electronic Entertainment Expo wraps up, and on June 14th in North America. Initially announced in 1997, Duke Nukem Forever was synonymous with vaporware for over a decade. While the original Studio 3D Realms, it went through at least 2 engine changes, and with its protracted development reportedly costing between $20 million and $30 million. Resident Evil 4 may have begun life on Nintendo's GameCube in January 2005, but the highly acclaimed installment in Capcom's horror shooter franchise has made a slow creep to other platforms. By October 2005, the game appeared on the PlayStation 2, and it was subsequently released for the PC and Wii in 2007. Now Capcom is adding 2 more platforms to the game's repertoire. This morning, Capcom officially announced it would be bringing Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Code Veronica X to North America on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Both games will be updated with high-definition graphics. However, rather than a boxed product release, the 2 games will be offered as digital downloads through the Xbox Live and PlayStation Network this fall. Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Thursday, March 24th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
Thanks to the news team for that update. I hope I can count on your support in my run for a GameSpot Live show host. And now, without further ado, I will throw it to my co-host, Caro Pettit, for the introduction of what's coming next.
Yes, well, you know, I'm excited about this because, you know, bustin' makes me feel good. I enjoy bustin'.
Sure does.
And there's actually a game out this week that has the word busting, ghost busting, in fact, to be more clear in the title.
The best kind of busting.
Exactly. It does, yeah, busting. Busting moves, though, also a good kind of busting.
True.
But maybe, you know, more on that later. Let's find out what else is new this week on Xbox Live.
This week on Xbox Live, in arcade, save blue morons from themselves in Swarm. Run 50 Swarmites through an intense and suicidal gauntlet of destruction. Run, bash, huddle, boost, stack, jump, push, and throw your way through a ridiculously dangerous world in your attempt to collect valuable DNA and ensure at least one survives. Then grab your photon pack and brave Ghostbusters' Sanctum of Slime. Ectoplasmic threats are spawning all over New York, and only you and your team of rookies can stop them. Choose from 4 new playable characters, and hop into the all-new Ecto 4-wheel drive and blast your foes with a medley of destructive weapons. In Games on Demand, be quick on the draw in Call of Juarez. Join Billy Candle and Reverend Ray in a gunslinging, horseback riding, train robbing Western adventure. Also this week, cloudy with a chance of meatballs will have you battling food enemies, using crazy gadgets and vehicles, and dodging cheeseburgers. Last, in Games on Demand, test your tactical intelligence in Supreme Commander 2. Take on the role of 3 commanders as they're dragged into a civil war. Command hundreds of land, air, and sea units in spectacular environments, upgrade your armies with new weapons and technologies, and deploy enormous experimental war machines. In game demos, sample greatness in the WWE All-Stars demo. Why choose your favorite wrestler when you can pick them all? WWE All-Stars is packed with high-flying, hard-hitting, man-on-man action and 30 WWE historic legends and current superstars. In downloadable content, use Star 2 as the Star Trek 5-pack and a CSI episode. In Video Marketplace, check out the Gatling Gears trailer and the World of Fancy Pants, the Fancy Pants Adventures trailer. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Xbox Live.
Game Demo!
Hey everyone, and welcome to our daily demo. I'm joined by Andy On from Square Enix, here to show us Bust-A-Move Universe 3DS, coming out very soon.
Coming out March 27th, 2011, on launch day for the 3DS.
Right, okay, so those who are familiar with the game already kind of know how it works, so talk to us about the game.
So, Bust-A-Move came out a long time ago, but not that long ago, in the mid-90s, but it's your classic puzzle game where you shoot bubbles up into the air and match up 3 colors of the same bubble and watch them pop and drop into the background.
Okay, so what's the storyline? What's going on with these little guys here?
So in this version of Bust-A-Move, you are Bub, that character right there.
Here, got toys.
Yeah,
we also want to explain these Nerf guns.
The Nerf guns have Bub on them too, so that we can shoot the camera later on and shoot you, maybe shoot me afterwards. But yeah, you're Bub, you're a dinosaur, you're traveling the universe, your buddy Bob has been captured by somebody, some dark force out there, and you're basically, again, traveling through the universe, trying to save him and save some of your other dinosaur buddies.
Okay, so we have the game up and running up here. So, look, looks like your classic match 3. So the whole gameplay is going to be like this, but yet there is a story. How is that going to be told?
So basically you start off on Earth, what's called the Motherland level, and like I said, you travel through the universe. There are a whole bunch of different worlds that you travel to. Each world has a set of 10 different puzzles that you have to clear. Over the course of your journey across this individual planet, you collect keys that are used to unlock your trapped companions. At the end of these 10 levels, you also go into a boss fight where you have to kill the bad guy who's kidnapped your buddy and move on to the next level.
Okay. So before we get into the boss fight, there are also different modes in the game as well?
There are 2 main different modes. There's the story mode where, again, you're traveling through the universe, and there's also a challenge mode where you try to capture or you try to pop as many bubbles as you can within a 100-second interval, a 300-second time limit, or an unlimited marathon type of time limit.
Like time challenges.
Exactly, exactly.
All right, very cool. So do we want to show off the boss fight?
Absolutely. So here goes the big bad boss that captured your buddy, which you've already freed. But all you have to do is, again, match up the bubbles and hit him with it and pop his bubble and get him to drop.
Oh, funny. Oh. There you go. Looks fun. I can't wait to play. So, obviously a launch title, so tell us, when is it coming out and on what platform?
So, Bust-A-Move Universe, the most addicting game in the universe. Will be coming out on March 27th, 2011 for the Nintendo 3DS at a $29.99 price point, which is a little different from some of the other the prices for some of the other games.
Oh, that's true. It's lower.
It's
okay.
lower, so.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and showing us the game.
Oh, thank you.
And that was our look at Bust-A-Move Universe. Now, on with the rest of the show.
Oh, crap.
So that was your look at Bust-A-Move Universe for the 3DS. And speaking of Bust-A-Move Universe, Chris, I was going to say I couldn't help but notice that on your desk, but now what I'm noticing is that you're holding a gun in your hand.
Technically, it is a buzzsaw, as you'll see here. And,
that makes me much more comfortable.
This is a Nerf gun, I believe, or Nerf-esque at least, and it's part of our giveaway for trivia today. We're giving away a couple of these guns with some mysterious balls that don't show up on our set. Oh my god, it's super weird because they're bright green. But yeah, let's give you a little preview of how buzzsaw works. Here's the loading chamber. You buzz it up. Now this thing is spinning. You can hear it groaning. Yeah. And then you just pull the trigger to release them and then pew, 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 pew. You have to make that noise yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have further firearm tours later on, but now it's on to the next segment. Kurtis Seid, our illustrious game guide editor, coming in to give us some tips and tricks on Dissidia 012 Duodecim Final Fantasy, I believe is a full title. knocking full titles out of the park. This is one of many services I offer. Take it away, Kurtis.
Kurtis here to give some tips and hints for Dissidia Duodecim Final Fantasy. New to this installment are assists that can be used to bring in actions from other characters. During story mode, an assist will be chosen depending on the map. However, for battle and communication modes, an assist can be assigned within the customization menu. Be sure to manually assign an assist to any character you haven't played previously. Any unlocked character can be selected as an assist, along with special non-playable characters from the paid demo saves, such as Eris. Each assist can perform Brave and HP attacks to build on combos. To launch a Brave assist, you must first gain at least 1 assist gauge, while HP assists require 2 charges. Successful assists may result in chase sequences. Quickly hit the X button to warp behind the enemy and lay waste with a follow-up attack of your choosing. Keep in mind though that assists can be countered and locked. If your assist is staggered or attacked by the enemy, you'll be locked out for nearly 20 seconds. The enemy will also receive bonus EX force. Fighters that are low on bravery can also make use of assist charges to restore their assist gauges. Players with critical health can completely restore their assist meter by countering HP attacks. Further assists can be timed to break EX modes and steal accumulated map brave. If you find the need to level up your characters quickly, consider taking them into battle mode and adjusting the rules. Select quick battle against an opponent you're comfortable taking out quickly. Defensive characters such as the Emperor and X-Death work well for most trainees. Set the stage to an open area, such as Promethea's domain at the Imperial Paradox. Set the enemy's strength low, but level decent to high. Last, set the rules to Brave-centric. During the battle, hit the enemy quickly with a bravery attack to snag several thousand brave in one go. Follow up with a single HP attack to finish the fight and receive a huge amount of EXP. Duodecim starts 6 new characters with their own host of moves to diversify their fighting styles. They include Final Fantasy XIII's Lightning, 12's Vaughn, 8's Laguna, 10's Yuna, 4's Kain, and 7's Tifa. Lightning uses Paradigm to switch between Commando, Ravager, and Medic modes. Ravager uses spells to keep the enemy away, and Medic can restore lost bravery. Commando is her main melee class though. Some of her basic attacks include Launch to slash 3 times, a Ruinga that explodes and sends the enemy flying. She can also start up chases using Ruin in the air. Among her HP moves are Razor Gale to unleash a spinning disc, and a charged wall rush in the form of Crushing Blow. She can also use Lightning Strike to send out a storm of bolts. Vaughn switches between different weapons during combat. He's much slower when switching out a weapon, but does greater damage during this time. His sword, katana, and crossbow are great for setting up chases, while axe, greatsword, and spear are better suited for wall rushes. His torrent and inferno HP attacks can follow with wall rushes, while his cataclysm attacks cause a short burst of jagged earth. Laguna uses a large array of guns. Some of his weapons can be further powered up or charged by holding down the attack button further. Brave moves such as machine gun and missile barrage can fire more shots in this manner, while shotgun can break an enemy's guard. His stick bomb can sticky several explosives to the enemy or terrain before detonating. He can also move in close and hit hard with his pummel attacks from the ground or air. His Ragnarok Buster, Ragnarok Blade, and Satellite Beam are all capable of ending in wall rushes, if the enemy survives the hit of course. Yuna can summon from several different Aeons: Valefor, Shiva, Ifrit, Ixon, and Bahamut. She can set up chases with Sonic Wing and Arrow Spark. Her Meteor Strike Brave attack with Ifrit is also good for wall rushing. Among her more useful HP attacks are Valefor's Energy and Shiva's Diamond Dust on the ground, along with Ifrit's Hellfire and Ixon's Thor's Hammer in the air. Kain has a unique advantage in that he can dash with the triangle button almost instantaneously after some of his moves. Among these include his air moves Lance Barrage and Crashing Dive. These moves can also set up chases and wall rushes depending on the follow-up's timing. He can also wall rush on the ground with basic Spiral Blow. His HP attacks Sky Rave, Gugnir, and Jump also lead to wall rushes. Jump can also be used defensively to dodge out of the way of certain enemy attacks. Tifa is a close-range fighter that can feint by tapping the X button. This will cancel her current attack and allow her to get the jump on the opponent. Her Beat Rush Ground Brave attack can be used to set up chases, while Elbow Smash and Water Kick can be used to set up wall rushes. She also has access to ice spells such as Blizzard and Blizzara that have potential to cause wall rushes. Her ground HP attacks such as Burning Arrow and Meteor Drive can lead to wall rushes, while her Rolling Blaze have both ground and aerial versions. That about covers it for initial new features. There are more secrets, items, and characters that can be gained from the main story and in-game shop. Good luck!
That tips and tricks segment was paid for by the Chris Waters for GameSpot Live host campaign. Now, on with the show. It's This Week on PC. We've got Marco Martinez, our Downloads Hub manager, PC guru, and PR campaign manager for the Chris Waters for GameSpot Live host campaign. Got you the latest This Week on PC. Let's check it out.
This week on PC, we check out Independent Propeller Award winner The Uncanny Fish Hunt and IGF Excellence in Audio Honorable Mention Jamestown. The Uncanny Fish Hunt is a fishing adventure game set in an unknown seaside village. You play as Simon, the second mate of a small fishing boat. Your captain has gone missing during one of your fishing trips, and it's up to you to find him. At your disposal is your captain's boat and the help of a villager that guides you in the direction of finding fish to feed the village, and ultimately finding your captain. The gameplay is simple and fun as you use only your mouse to move and control all aspects of your boat. The steering of your boat could be refined, but newer builds should improve upon this. The art style reminds me of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, but with darker color tones. The music is somber but not dark enough that it hampers gameplay. It actually accentuates the art style, giving the gameplay an added boost. The Uncanny Fish Hunt has a quick install and is now available at the GameSpot downloads page. Next we have Jamestown, The Legend of the Lost Colony. Jamestown is a top-down old-school shooter but with an updated look. The game is set in 17th century British colonial Mars, where you take control of 4 unique ships that each have a purpose throughout the game. You can play co-op or with up to 4 players. Jamestown will be available during the summer, but we will keep you updated when a demo is available to play. I'm Marco Martinez, and that's it for This Week on PC.
Game Demo!
Alright everybody, it is daily demo time, and today we're going to have a look at some DLC from Mass Effect 2. We're going to have a look at Arrival, courtesy of Jesse Hostin from BioWare. Jesse, thanks for taking the time to drop by.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jesse, you guys have done quite a bit of DLC so far for Mass Effect 2. What is Arrival, and how does it compare with the other DLC installments you guys have released?
So, Arrival is basically our final premium DLC pack for all the platforms. It is a kind of a story mission-based DLC about you trying to find out what's going on with the Reapers' invasion plans and their imminent arrival into the system.
Okay, so it adds, like I was asking you earlier, a little bit of additional closure for those who've played Mass Effect 2 to completion?
Absolutely, it's kind of like an epilogue piece. Now the interesting part about that though is it doesn't unlock right at the end of ME2. Okay. You can actually, or Mass Effect 2 rather, you can unlock it right after the first act, after Horizon. Okay. But there's some subtle differences that happen depending on when you decide to go and do the mission. Whether or not you choose to do it right after the end of Mass Effect 2, or if you happen to do it right after the end of the first act.
All right, cool. So we've actually got the game loaded up right here. So let's take a look at what's going on. We're obviously going to jump into a fairly combat-focused, or actually some conversation.
Yep.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Dr. Kenson, I'm Commander Shepard. I'm here to get you out.
Commander Shepard? I'd heard you were alive. Hackett must have received my message.
We're not safe here. Can you walk?
I'm fine. Just give me a moment.
We have to go. Now.
If we can find a console, I can hack security. Make us an escape path.
Then we'll find them. Go.
Ready.
So, what exactly did we just see there, Jesse?
So basically, the beginning of the mission, Admiral Hackett, who's voiced by Lance Hendrickson, sends you to a system to rescue Amanda Kenson. And so what we just kind of interrupted right there was a torture sequence with Kensen. And now we're basically trying to break her out of prison. So right now we're kind of fighting through the prison blocks where she's going to get access to a computer in order to let us get out as well as shutting down the orbital communication system so they can't actually track us.
Okay. So in terms of combat, how does Arrival compare to the other DLC you've released, and really the game as a whole? Is it are you guys trying to do anything differently with combat this time around?
Absolutely. So one thing you're going to notice is Shepard, for the most part, is running solo in this mission. So a lot of the combat is definitely keyed a little more towards how Shepard can interact with cover, and you're going to see a lot more of just single combat oriented stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that we're actually having fewer enemies. In fact, you're going to find the combat to be potentially even more intense than a little more intense than you're used to, but still like really high quality, still really story driven content. Just your henchmen are taking this one at home.
Okay. And you mentioned before that you don't necessarily have to have completed ME2 to play this,
No,
but
absolutely.
In terms of difficulty level, would you recommend that people have completed it?
No, in fact, so where I'm playing right now is, right after I would have gotten back from Horizon, is where I'm playing right now. So I'm still fairly early level. As you can see, I still got, I got a very early trophy just there. So from a kind of difficulty perspective, it's really balanced towards, well, first of all, the balance is dynamic. So, stuff gets a little harder the later in the game you play, but it's really fine to play it wherever you want and whenever you're ready to actually experience the story.
Okay.
So right now, basically, Kensen is still hacking through the computer. You can see her health on the screen there. They're sending waves of enemies after us, and I have to basically protect her while the prison guards try and get in. And they're coming from multiple floors. They're coming from all around us. This is a totally new kind of element for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
We've generally we've always been a good cover shooter, but now we're starting to look at throwing enemies at you in different from different directions and stuff like that.
And how does the arsenal of weaponry compare to Mass Effect 2?
So we actually didn't include any new weapons in Arrival. So you just bring whichever weapons you happen to have with ready for you.
Okay.
So in this case, I brought like the guest shotgun and the Matic from some previous DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But that's we really wanted to focus more on the actual combat aspects and less on the providing new weapons. So as you can see, Kensen's finished hacking. Now we're up on the elevator, heading towards. There's a shuttle that landed earlier in the pack, and we're going to try and escape on that. But we've got to fight our way out.
So, Jesse, I suppose one of the luxuries that you guys have when you're designing the DLC for a game is that you kind of have the luxury of, you already know what the fan feedback is for the original game. How did you guys factor that into designing the Arrival DLC?
Well, we took a lot of feedback, actually. We learned a ton from Overlord and Kasumi and Shadow Broker and a lot of our, even from the main game of what fans liked and what fans didn't like. And you're just going to see kind of consistent improvement. I mean, if you look at the difference between Overlord and Shadow Broker, I mean, Overlord was a phenomenal piece of DLC. Shadow Broker rated one of the best DLCs that we've ever put out. And you're going to see a nice logical progression in here. This one being a little bit more combat focused than Shadow Broker is. Shadow Broker is more focused around VR. This one's more focused about kind of Shepard and his take on things. And you're just going to see that progression, though the quality progression is still there. It was actually developed, this particular piece of DLC was developed out of the BioWare Montreal studio with us at BioWare Edmonton. but they did, the lion's share of the work. And they've just pulled off a really high quality piece of content, in my opinion.
So the charges against you are true.
Well, to be fair, that's about half the story. My people and I were here investigating rumors of Reaper technology out in the fringes of this system.
I guess you found something.
We found proof that the Reapers will be arriving in this system. When they get here, they'll use its mass relay to travel throughout the galaxy. We call it the Alpha Relay. From here, the Reapers can invade anywhere in the galaxy.
So you decided to destroy it?
Exactly. Doing that would stop the Reapers' invasion. Even at FTL speeds, it'd be months or years before they got to the next relay. We came up with what we just called the Project. A plan to launch a nearby asteroid into the relay and destroy it before the Reapers could arrive. Of course, the resulting explosion would probably wipe out the system.
I've always heard that mass relays are indestructible.
I've heard that too. But I think it's more that nobody's willing to find out what happens when one is destroyed. And, well, we plan to slam a small planet into the thing at very high speed. By our calculations, that's more than enough.
I still don't see how you learned about this supposed invasion.
The evidence came from what we call Object Rho, a Reaper artifact we discovered among the asteroids near the relay itself. When we get back to Arcturus Station, I'll explain everything and provide copies of all our notes on the artifact.
The stakes are too high. If you were willing to destroy a whole system over this, I want to see your proof.
I guess I can't argue with that. Give me a moment. Kenson to Project Base.
Good to hear your voice, Doctor. You coming home?
Affirmative. And I've got Commander Shepard with me.
Shepard? Really?
Tidy up the lab. The Commander needs to confirm the artifact.
Right. I'll get everything set up for your arrival. Project Base out.
All set. Just sit back and relax. We'll be there in no time.
All right, Jesse, well, with the conclusion of that conversation there, that seems like as good a point of any to lead to the final question that I have for you. When is Mass Effect Arrival going to be available to download, and is it going to be on all 3 platforms?
Absolutely. It's going to be simultaneously available on all 3 platforms on March 29th.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jesse.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks a lot. Well, there you guys have it. That's Mass Effect Arrival. Now on with the rest of the show.
So that was your look at the next and final piece of Mass Effect 2 DLC, Arrival. And now it is trivia time. We have actually pretty exciting prize. We've got concert tickets to the Distant Worlds Music from Final Fantasy shows happening in New York City, April 1st and 2nd. That's a Friday and Saturday. We have 1 pair of tickets for each show. Making an appearance at each of these shows is the legendary composer Nobuo Uematsu himself. And Chris, why don't you ask, what do people have to know to get their hands on these concert tickets?
Here it comes, folks. You want to get into the show? Answer this question. Which venue will Distant Worlds Music from Final Fantasy be performing in after their New York performance next week? But that's just phase 1 of our trivia. Of course, phase 2 involves firearms and knocking stuff over on the desk.
Give me that.
Here we go. Now, these are the secondary firearms we're giving away. Simple pump, shoot, action.
Oh my God, it's a massacre in here.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
And if you want to get these shipped to your house and endanger your parents and or pets, Caro, what are they going to have to answer?
They have to know this. What are the names of the dinosaur stars of the Bust-A-Move series? If you think you know the answer, go ahead and plug it in the trivia module on the side of the page or email us at onthespot@gamespot.com.
So good luck with that trivia, folks. Whoa! And that's going to wrap up our show for today. Now, Caro, what's on the horizon? What's coming up? What do we got?
As you may know, a little device called the Nintendo 3DS is hitting store shelves, and we will have reviews of a whole mess of the launch games hitting the site tomorrow. So be sure to come back and check those out to know, which games to pick up for the new shiny 3DS.
Because there's a bunch of them.
Yes.
And we got a bunch of reviews. It's going to be great. Yes. Folks, thanks for joining us here at the GameSpot studios. For everyone around here, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Carolyn Pettit.
Saying have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Okay, it's not that. Thanks to the GameSpot news team for that update. I hope I can count on your support in my run for host of GameSpot's new live show. And now, without further ado, it's don't put that on. Oh! Cut.